Yo, what is up, Crocs and Clan members, Poke fans, and others folks on this video? I'm SoresanCrockxen, and today we're going to be doing episode 46 of Pokemon X and Y, English dub version, which is the Wigglytuff episode. And I gotta say, it was actually pretty good. I liked it. It was nice. It was. I'm glad that they kind of explained the reasoning why Wigglytuff is the aid of Nurse Joy in the region, because back in the beginning, well, we had Chansey, and Chansey was a staple until Gen 5 when we had Audino. But that one made sense because Gen 5 was supposed to be a reskin of Pokemon, where Black and White had no Pokemon from previous regions, so they have to have a Pokemon that symbolizes healing, and Audino is technically a Chansey in Gen 5. So we needed an explanation why Wigglytuff was the Pokemon in Gen 6. And the way they explain it is, there's a story, there's actually like a book in the Pokemon Center that says that once upon a time there was a group of rampaging Flygon, and then a lone Wigglytuff stood by and calmed everybody down, healed everything, and they were treated as heroes. And because they were able to calm the wrath of Flygons and their properties to heal the Flygons and send them home, made them the perfect candidate for being Nurse Joy's aide. Now the Wigglytuff in this episode is actually a newbie. I'm gonna assume she just got out of Pokemon Doctor School or whatever. I mean, I don't know I don't know if that's still a thing, because I mean, if everybody remembers the whole Jessie backstory with the Chansey and stuff, how there was actually like a Pokemon nurse doctor school thingy where you have to go to train and study to be a nurse. Um, so I don't know, like if that's still a thing, but she's new, so she's not very good at her job because she's just starting out. She doesn't know the ropes. She's very clumsy, and she's nervous. It's the first day technically. Well, well, they don't specify it's the first day, but they do specify that she's actually very new at her job. Um, so the episode actually starts off with Team Rocket, which honestly, I honestly don't even care half the time Team Rocket shows up anymore, because the way they try to play it off is that they were trying to capture a Salamence. Why not just capture the Salamence? Why do you have to have a whole gimmick? Because literally the whole purpose of Team Rocket in the beginning was to set up the last portion of the episode. There's really no other reason for that. Honestly, what kind of trainer goes up to a Pokemon and tries to, I don't know, use some kind of mechanic to try to get them to be like all calm and relaxed so you can. I don't even. They didn't have a Pokeball ready. How do you not have a Pokeball ready to catch a Pokemon? Like, that makes absolutely no sense. What what was your plan? Just go in there, put the thing on the Salamence, have it be all nice and cheerful, and then get James to come into the cave and throw the Pokeball. There was no logic behind the plan. I mean, if you're gonna catch a Pokemon, catch the freaking Pokemon. There's no other. It was anyways. So because of the stupid nonsense, the Salamence goes on rampage. So in the Pokemon Center, we're getting to meet the Wigglytuff. We see its struggles as it's new at its job, so it doesn't really know. It trips a lot and all this other stuff. And we actually get to see Pokemon ambulances for the first time. I honestly thought this wasn't a thing, but no. So like a Pokemon ambulance actually shows up and it has two Pokemon in the back, and they have to, like, in the what are they called? Stretchers? I think it's stretchers. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the stretchers. And so it's like, so this is another thing. Nurse Joy, if Wigglytuff is new at her job, don't give her the tougher assignment. There was two Pokemon in the ambulance. There was a Linoon, pretty big, pretty badly hurt, and there was a Beedoo. It's a small Pokemon, and actually the injuries weren't that bad. Nurse Joy comes up with the idea of having Wigglytuff work on Linoon while she had the Beedoo. I'm like, wouldn't the roles be reversed? Wouldn't you have Wigglytuff take the smaller assignment, the Beedoo with smaller injuries? Why would you give it the bigger Pokemon that has the worst injuries? That makes absolutely no sense. I mean, what kind of practice is that? You don't do that. But you know what? Serena and Bonnie end up helping her out. Like they take the Pokemon, so that's I guess all cool. And then actually Ash ends up taking the Beedoo because it was funny because Clem was gonna grab it with the Apom arm, and Ash just picks it up, and then they close the doors, and then they drive away. And Clem was like, "What?" And then just see Ash walking away with the Beedoo in hand. I'm like, "Wow, you just trolled Clem. Wow, just wow." And then here's the thing. Another ambulance shows up right after that, and it was actually Team Rocket with Pumpkaboo and Meowth because they both got destroyed by the Salamence. And so they're like gonna bring it in. Like Nurse Joy takes the Pumpkaboo, and then Clement takes Meowth. Of course, they don't know it's Team Rocket, even though it's obvious it's Team Rocket. But anyways, so they're gonna take him in, but unfortunately, Wigglytuff is bringing the cart back and ends up crashing into Clement, and then Meowth goes flying, and Wigglytuff tries to catch him in midair, but ends up headbutting him, and then he ends up crashing into the wall. And I'm like, wow, it was pretty tough. I mean, it's I mean, okay, every when you start out a job, it's gonna be horrible. I'm sorry, it happens to everybody. You're not gonna be perfect the first day or even the first week. Half the time you're gonna be messing up every left and right. But Team Rocket actually ends up coming in like, oh my gosh, Meowth, are you okay? And they're like, what kind of, how do you treat your patients like this? And then Nurse Joy has to come out and apologize. And then another ambulance shows up with freaking, what was it? Teddy Ursa. And, and then he gets fixed up. I'm gonna guess Team Rocket already had Meowth and Pumpkaboo because, like, she just brought out the Teddy Ursa after it was fixed up, and then she took it, and then she explains the whole Salamence ordeal, and so the group decides, hey, we got to take care of this problem. Of course, they're not gonna do it right away, so what happens. And then we get a little moment with Wigglytuff, like she's alone in like it's nighttime and she's like alone next to a tree, all kind of depressed and upset because well she missed the whole day. She wasn't really doing well. And so what ends up happening is that Pikachu actually comes up and they have like a little talk. I really wish that if they're ever gonna do Pokemon side by side talking to each other with nobody around to help the context, please, because they show Team Rocket, they show like a little bit after they were talking, and right before Ash came in, so that even Team Rocket got interrupted. Have either Meowth explain it or give some kind of voiceover because it's really awkward to see two Pokemon talking in just they're saying their names because we don't know what they're saying. And I'm just saying I like what I like. I like the Island of Giants, the mechanic giants things where we actually got to hear the Pokemon's thoughts. We actually saw them talking, and we could understand what they were saying because there was nobody around them, so there was no way for us to understand. We were just seeing the Pokemon, and it would have been really awkward to just sit there and just hear Char Char, Squirtle Squirtle, Bulbasaur. And so they did a voiceover. Why do this? I want this to actually come back at some point because I really think it's really awkward for the viewer to be sitting there watching two Pokemon talk and them like understanding each other, but we're like in the back going like, what the heck is he saying? I don't. Why are you happy now? But okay, what kind of encouraging words did he like? Give us some kind of context somewhere along the lines, at least, or subtitle it. Do that. Give us some subtitles. It doesn't even have to be voiceover. Just give us a little voice, some subtitles at the bottom that says what the heck's going on, so that we don't feel completely lost. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Leave it in the comments down below. Let me know. So the next day, Clement is like, I'm gonna help you guys, and then he comes up with a new invention, which is supposed to be like a cheer you up type of thing. You put it on your head, and it gives you motivation. It worked just fine when Bonnie used it. Of course, Bonnie was not impressed. Actually, I was kind of, I was like, okay, this is what you made. Like, Clement, this is pathetic. I mean, come on, give me something bigger, something better. And it works just fine. But then as soon as Wigglytuff puts it on, it breaks down. I'm like, it worked just fine on Bonnie. What was the point of having it break down when Wigglytuff used it? I'm seriously hoping that after the whole Clement fight, none of his inventions blow up anymore because I'm gonna. Ah, I mean, I know it's been a while since the last one. But I'm saying, like, what you can't have it work and then blow up after you try it again. It makes no sense. It just doesn't. It just doesn't work. Team Rocket shows up. They heard an explosion, which brings me up to the next question: what kind of ambulance comes up to a technically the hospital to take the injured away from the hospital? That there's no logic behind that. Not only that, but Team Rocket, after putting the Pokemon in the ambulance, took off their disguises. Why not wait until after you've left to do that? Like, that makes no. It was stupid. I'm sorry. This Team Rocket in this episode was completely illogical and just stupid in the whole aspect. Not only that, but they didn't even get away because of the stuff. Like, this is what I meant when I said the whole stuff in the beginning affected the end of the episode. Because when they were trying to get away, the Salamence is in the middle of the road and then attacks the freaking ambulance. And then because they attacked the ambulance, Team Rocket had nowhere to go. Thus, the gang and Durst Joy were able to reach the area. Pikachu and Wigglytuff run to them because Salamence actually helped them get out of the. I mean, it indirectly helped them get out of the back of the ambulance. And then basically it becomes a whole thing where Wigglytuff has to follow the story. Because, like I said, there's a book that explains the whole fire, which impromptu kind of like a special moment with Wigglytuff because after Nurse Joy and them start talking about how Wigglytuff's gonna get better, she's gonna become the best nurse, just the best Pokemon ever, and to be an assistant. Like it just, of course, it takes time, and Nurse Joy's like, I'm gonna be by her side until she's ready. We're gonna take this as slow as she needs to, and then they have like a happy moment. So that whole moment was supposed to set up this, because this is essentially the part of the story where Wigglytuff stands up to the Dragon type and then is able to save the day. And we also get to see for the first time the immunity of fairies when it comes to Dragon type moves, because like first of all, Nurse Joy is trying to calm down the Salmon, and Wigglytuff used Protect against Flamethrower, and then it used no, they dodged the Hyper Beam. She protected the Nurse Joy from the flamethrower, and she just walked through the Dragon Pulse. She's like, I don't give. I just don't care. I don't care. No, and I ain't got no time for this. And she just keeps on walking through the Dragon Pulse. And then, Clement's over here explaining like, oh, that's right, Wigglytuff's a fairy type, and they're immune to Dragon type, so it makes sense why the Wigglytuff was the hero in the story and all this stuff. And again, they're just tying up all the little stuff that was going on in the episode. And then Wigglytuff is like, she just walked up to the Salamence, and I believe it was Heal Pulse. I thought it was Sting at first, but then I had to look it up. It was Heal Pulse, and then calmed down the Salamence, and then Ash took the Sting off its face, and then it blew up Team Rocket. And then another happy moment, like right at the end with Wigglytuff, all like happy, like one of those. She was crying, but it was tears of joy. Because she was kind of, they called her a hero, so she's like all emotional now. And then Pikachu, it was a cute moment because Pikachu like goes up and like wipes her tears off, and then Wayne talks, "Ah," it was cute. It was a nice moment. But it was a nice episode. But Team Rocket was completely irrelevant. It was completely stupid. No need for them to even exist anymore, to be quite honest. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Links to the episode in the description down below. I don't know if in case you weren't able to watch it. I don't know if Cartoon Network is on back again. I have to research it because somebody told me it was a little too late because the episode. I had to wait for the episode to upload because I didn't know. But I'm gonna check, and if it's true, that means that I should go back to the old schedule because then I can watch it on TV and all that stuff. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'm SoresanCrockxen, and I'll see you guys in future videos.